Oh my gosh. We're starting on a new piece of equipment.
This might all sound wrong.
Hopefully it sounds right. Just right. Because we're trying hard.
Harder than we ever have at anything.
I never felt so stupid.
I can't even... The day started with me in pajamas.
And it's still...
I'm still in pajamas.
happening.
And we've been out in public.
Yeah.
Out in public trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah, I came over almost 8 hours ago, and I thought we were going to be like, this is going to be easy. Got up here. Well, we talked for 2 hours before we even recorded, and we should have recorded it.
Should have just recorded it.
And then we come up here to record something, and the audio sounds like crap because we had a shit system, a shit setup.
Just... We tried to go the cheap route, I think, is
we did.
The way to say it the best. You know, we're like, we'll just get some stuff, the basics. We'll record it. It'll sound okay. Yeah. And we'll be fine.
We thought we needed a mixer and an audio interface. We bought a cheap audio interface, a relatively cheap mixer.
I'm instantly regretting the thought that I needed to chew gum.
Yeah, what the... Spit that shit out. Not in here.
New stuff. Maybe I'll just hold on to it under my tongue.
There's a box over there.
My tongue's fine.
You're not going to make a bunch of chewing noises?
I'm trying not to, but I can feel it.
I can tell. How about one of our...
Oh, can you grab that box?
That's what I was just saying. There's a box over here. I'll get up and grab the box.
Well, it's all the way across the bed.
Yes. You're right. There you go.
Thanks.
Spit out your gum. Yeah, why didn't I say something when you immediately put gum in your mouth before we came up here? I'm like, what? Is that a good idea? Oh! Watching somebody else spit gum out. Something about it.
But it's your best friend.
Yeah, it's fine. A podcast episode.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Song.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry. So this podcast episode
gotta stop touching things.
Is about.
Take it away from me.
Okay. Angela's idea today. Are we 90s kids?
I want to be a 90s kid.
I want to be a 90s kid.
I want the respect
my God.
of other 90s kids.
I didn't know that we weren't. That people were considering that we weren't. Like, there's this debate that if you're born, like, in mid to late 90s, you don't fucking count, bitch.
You don't count.
You aren't included.
Yep. And we're right in the cusp of not getting counted.
And that's sad to me, because I didn't know. I've always called myself a 90s kid.
Always.
And now I'm thinking, am I a late 90s kid or just, like, a 90s toddler?
I think,
and then 2000 kid, like 2000s
just
kids?
was gonna, coin that term, 90s toddler.
90s toddler.
Because we grew up in the 2000s.
Yeah.
But we were toddlers in the 90s.
Yeah.
And we, what's that word? We were included in the 90s shows, the music. We had the same things the early 90s kids had for the most part.
Yeah, it didn't go away when we were in, like, the early 2000s.
Yeah, and it was still there. We still had the same shitty quality of music. Mm-hmm. We still had those great cartoons on TV.
The best cartoons of all time.
We didn't have cell phones. Those were, new? Yeah, new.
Yeah, we had most of the movies that I grew up watching were on VHS.
We had movie rental places.
Yeah, where you'd pick up a VHS
to Blockbuster
tape.
And you got yourself some VHSs. That was a Friday night. That was my Friday night.
Mm.
My brother and I, we
didn't have a local Blockbuster. That I can recall. But
we usually
did
went
have
to
everything
movie gallery,
on
but
VHS. Ooh,
the poor
gallery.
man's Blockbuster.
Generic.
Blockbuster was, across the street, and I was like, no, not going there.
Movie gallery it is.
Yeah, it's right by the dollar store.
That gives you an idea
Yeah.
of how it was.
Of what it is, you know? Nobody's in there but just you and your siblings. But it was fun, and then you got to pick out dollar store candy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the knockoff of real candy.
And then go watch some 90s movies.
Some 90s movies, yes. Yes. With the original cartoons and the commercials for your stupid little slime balls that you wanted, or I always wanted that, what is that called? The disc that was, it's like a frisbee, but it was like a balloon. No? You don't remember?
I think I got that for Christmas
I got one too, and I was so excited.
Don't know.
It was supposed to go so high.
What were those
far.
things called?
I don't know. We'll have to fact check that.
That was probably the 2000s, though.
I just remember watching infomercials, and they worked on me. They worked on me.
They targeted you as a child.
That stuff doesn't work now. I'm like, no.
That will go away.
Don't tell me what to buy, bitch.
You will become old and watch QVC.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm not shit-talking people who watch QVC.
Targeted.
Sorry.
I am judging. What are you doing with your life?
Yeah. So
90s kid? Question mark?
I don't know. I thought I was. Now I question it. Now I feel like I am an imposter.
I'm an imposter. Yeah.
It's sad.
We did a little research, and when I say we, I mean Jess.
I got into it because I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know this was a debated topic. And so I was like, what does it mean? What is your childhood? What years are your childhood? When do your memories start?
Ooh.
So normally memories start around 3 or 4 years of age. I remember preschool. I'm pretty sure it was 4. I have a picture from, and it's all the whole class, and it said Early Childhood Education Program 1999 to 2000. So I was like 4 into 5. I remember a lot of that.
I think I remember moments of preschool, if you will. I remember I was really obsessed with playing with this stupid pirate ship. Oh. And whenever somebody had that pirate ship, I would stare them down until they invited me to come play.
Learning to share.
I was playing with that pirate ship yesterday, so I'm entitled.
I need that first.
That's my pirate ship. And you need to go get your own.
I remember in preschool one day, it was why we did this, I don't know. Preschool is not really school. You aren't learning anything. It's just a place for you to go while your parents are at work. Yeah. And it's fun
Sadly,
stuff.
it's like a babysitting daycare.
Like Head Start. The teachers put out bubble wrap.
Oh my gosh.
And poured dish soap all over the bubble wrap.
What?
And we took our shoes off and we stomped all over it.
This is weird.
Why?
What is that? Why do
I have this memory?
Why with the soap?
I don't know. It was slippery.
What was that
It made it harder to pop.
Oh. Weird.
I'm assuming. I remember painting. I remember
painting,
going
coloring.
Outside and
Oh, you know what I do remember from preschool? We had a class pet, and it was just a stuffed animal, like a dog. And each kid had a week that they spent taking home the dog, and you would put together what you did with it. And my mom was the best mom, and she would take me to the Y, and she's like, oh, we're gonna go down this slide, and the dog had so much fun. And the parents really do the homework when you're in preschool, and but we just had a good time, and she'd take pictures with me in it, and that's the only thing I have from kindergarten really left over, because I'm the youngest in my family, and once you've already done it once with a kid, you don't need to keep everything. So
no more documenting that shit.
It's just too much to keep track of.
Yeah. So
my mom's a hoarder.
Oh no, she is not a hoarder.
In a good way, in the best way, in the best way.
Yeah, she keeps the good quality, important stuff.
Yeah. Too much stuff. Of it, but
oh my god,
yes,
you do have two containers,
full Connexes
outside your house,
full of my mother's stuff. Anyway, again, off
That's
topic.
what you get when you get inheritance. That's it.
Here's all my stuff.
That's all your stuff now.
Your brother won't keep it, so hopefully you will.
Yep. So
it's my role in the fam.
No.
No.
So, yeah, that's why it's controversial, because we started mostly remembering things towards the very end of the 90s, more into the early 2000s.
We're 1995 babies. I don't know if we mentioned, or if you could tell.
We're right in the middle, and a lot of comments on all these posts I've seen online is that you aren't a 90s kid unless you were between like 5 and 12 during the 90s. So the perfect 90s kid was born in like 1986 or 1987 or somewhere around there, because they started their childhood and they ended their childhood about in the 90s. Yeah. And I get it. I get that.
I get it, but I also think, like, if I were born in the 87, 89, I would consider myself, an 80s kid. Do you think 1997 babies consider themselves 90s? Like, does your brother...
That's my brother.
...think he's a 90s baby?
I would think so.
Yeah?
I don't know for sure, but just because we were born in the 90s, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Why can't, since we're born mid to later 90s, we can't be?
True.
We're not included.
We also discussed that families who have someone who was grown up in the 90s, so maybe earlier 90s, or in Jessica's
like
case,
your brother.
95. Yeah, like my brother in 91. I got a lot of his hand-me-downs, so I played with and watched 90s, true, like, early 90s shows, and played with 90s toys. So, clothes. I had 90s clothes for sure.
Yep.
Just bold, block colors, windbreaker pants.
I want to see these pictures.
Jean jackets, all the rage. They were too cool for my mom. Tube socks? I feel like I rocked some tube socks.
For always, you've rocked tube socks.
Yeah, except for now. Always. I'm cutting down because I got big calves. But once I find some big calf tube socks, I'll be back.
Remember that lady at Walmart?
Yes.
What'd she say?
It just offended me so deeply.
We were trying
I took
on
it
boots
to the core. I was trying on some puddle boots.
Puddle boots.
And she came out of the back storage area and said, take those off. Your calves are too wide for those. Yeah, you don't remember?
No, I just knew she said something about your calves.
And because I was trying to shove my foot into this boot. And she saw me struggling and she said, take those off.
You don't belong. But
do you remember having to dial and remember your friends' phone numbers?
100%.
And
I still remember my phone number growing up.
Yeah, me too. Because it hasn't changed.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, same.
Well,
same home phone.
Yeah, I remember my friend's number, and I remember having to know my number because if I wasn't home and I needed to call my parents,
yes, you
needed to remember your phone number, and anybody you wanted to call. There was, unless you fucking had a Rolodex or whatever.
And you carried that around with you.
You carried that shit around with you.
You had a Filofax.
My mom had a Rolodex or whatever. One of those little flippy with all the phone numbers.
Business cards and stuff.
Business cards and everything.
It's cute. It's the early 90s, late 80s thing. I remember watching, what movie was that? Babysitter? Oh, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Oh,
I think it was an early 90s movie, but it was supposed to be based in the 80s. And she had a Rolodex, and that just reminds me of 80s, classic 80s stuff with the big hair, the Rolodex,
so
gaudy necklaces.
Yeah, another thing we were talking about is my parents, my boyfriend's parents were born early 70s, like 1970, 1972. And I wonder, I haven't asked them, but I wonder if they would consider themselves 70s kids or more of 80s kids, But they were almost 10 by time it was 1980.
Yeah.
So are they late 70s, early 90s kids?
Ooh, early 90s
early
kids.
80s kids?
Well, the typical 90 kid is born in 87, so they can't,
they wouldn't be late.
Yeah, I think they would be considered 80s.
Yeah.
And they were born in the 70s.
So it makes me feel bad about myself now.
Considering ourselves 90s kids.
I don't know anymore. And it's stupid because it doesn't matter. And there's people online trying to tell me and other people that we aren't what we've always thought we were.
Yeah.
I think that sucks.
I think I agree that we are. I think, yes, we grew up in the 2000s because that's when we were forming our memories. 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. It was early 2000s. However, that doesn't mean that our 90s paraphernalia wasn't around.
Paraphernalia?
Isn't that
sounds naughty. Like drugs and stuff.
I mean, it just means...
The 90s, I don't know, things from the 90s.
The 90s
shows,
era didn't
music.
end at the end of the 90s.
Yeah. What
it carried
people were
on.
wearing, what we started wearing as we got older. It's still stuff that was based off of the 90s.
What embodies the 1990s real, like, live action show to you? Like, what just screams 90s to you? I have a show on my mind. No, like a sitcom.
Oh, I think of like an All That.
Okay, All That, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
I was thinking like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That
live
just
action.
Screams 90s to me.
Yeah, and I had to look this up because I thought, okay, this is another thing that makes me feel bad. I didn't think that I watched reruns of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Find out it came out from 1990 to 1996. So obviously I wasn't watching it when it was
1-year-old
coming out. So
it was coming out
when it was fresh.
Yeah.
So that
we were watching reruns, but
we were watching reruns of that, and I had no idea.
No idea. It was everything was new to us.
But it's not like I wasn't watching them. I don't know. It's just, I still watched them, and it still felt like part of my childhood.
Yeah. Agreed.
And it was very 90s.
And those are things that people online are saying, that you're not a true 90s kid if you didn't do X, or you didn't have this.
Or, if you never had to go and frickin' rent a VHS movie, or if you never had to frickin' blow your lungs out trying to clean your Nintendo game.
I did that
shit. Or your Game Boy.
Yeah.
Did that shit.
I had a PS2.
Had that shit.
And I played games on it, and I remember having to take the memory card. Memory cards were a thing when we were growing up. Like, if you didn't have your memory card, you couldn't save where you were in the game.
That was awful. If you didn't put your memory card in and you played
for
so
hours.
far in, and then you were like, that's all gone.
It figures.
So sad.
Yeah, it was, and I think we grew up in a good time where things were changing. We got kind of like the best of both worlds.
I think we did.
We started
grew up in the best times.
The best of both worlds. We started with VHSs in our movie stores, and then we got to slowly see things change to DVD and be part of that anger of why does everything have to change? And now those places are going away, and we're seeing things change to now streaming. And
it's a weird world.
I'm upset.
How things
I think
are.
that's safe to say. Is I'm a very nostalgic person.
I don't like change.
Don't like change. I don't want to have to rebuy my favorite movies again.
Yeah, because what happens? We've gone from VHS, and now we've decided, like, we've gotten all these DVDs.
Then I went to Blu-ray.
Now what is it going to be? What's the next format that we're not going to have a player for?
Exactly.
My DVD player just took a shit.
Oh, no.
It won't work anymore. It won't open, and I'm devastated because I'm like, how am I going to find a DVD player that will play these older DVDs?
I don't know what to say about it.
What about our music?
Our music.
What happens in the future if we can't listen to the music that we...
I still buy CDs.
I buy CDs, but what happens if we don't have a way to play the CD?
What happened?
I will
Cars are getting rid of CD players.
I know. My car still has one, but I am terrified that in the future they're going to be completely gone. You're never going to be able to get a radio with a CD player.
Mm-mm.
I'm terrified of that.
Same. I am terrified because I think that's where I do most of my CD listening.
Yeah,
is in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And just music. What do you think is what do you remember from the 90s that you listened to? Do you have an earliest memory or no?
Of the music?
Yeah.
We were just singing Shania Twain
yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I remember so much of the 90s, like, at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I remember listening a lot of the early 2000s music when we were in older grades, so later elementary.
I think that's true. I think I don't know. Back then I didn't really know who was singing them.
What I was listening
what year
to.
It's from, you know.
And it's hard to even pinpoint in my head.
Yeah.
And just bring it back
Boy
up.
bands, were they 90s or were they early 2000s?
Because I had posters everywhere of, I'm pretty sure NSYNC was mine.
I was Backstreet
You were a Backstreet Boys girl?
Is that a 90s thing or is that 2000s?
Let's look it up.
Yeah, let's Google that.
NSYNC.
Google that shit.
They formed in 95.
Okay.
So, 95
Let's
for
ask
sure.
the world, do you consider that a 90s band then, or...
Because maybe they didn't get big until...
The 2000s.
The 2000s. So, you're going to...
Just like us. We didn't
93.
get big until the 2000s.
93 is Backstreet Boys.
Oh, see, Backstreet Boys is the OG.
Mm. Yeah, I loved them both. I just remember having the poster of NSYNC.
I never had posters.
Oof.
I did...
My best friend had an Aaron Carter poster.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. With those frosted tips.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or who had the
job.
JT poster with the like ramen hair?
Yes. JT.
Justin Timberlake.
Mm-hmm.
In the house.
He's in NSYNC.
Yeah, he's in NSYNC.
So, that's stuff I remember is elementary
Britney
school,
Spears,
middle
that
school,
was our
Britney
age,
Spears.
I want to say.
Oh yeah, I remember having
the
the first Britney Spears album. I remember
the
album.
Isn't it self-titled? Wasn't it just Britney Spears?
I'm picturing like
Pink.
she's
Pink
like
background.
She's kind of like on her knees, probably. Doesn't that sound like Britney? Sorry, Britney
Ouch!
Spears.
She's been through a lot.
First album,
Baby One More Time.
There, yeah.
Yeah,
she's on her
pink
knees,
background.
Pink background. She's wearing like a reddish or a darker pink cardigan with a jeans skirt. Yes. I remember having this album and the Smash Mouth album.
Oh, did you ever have the little, what is that called? The mini clips?
Yes.
The keychain music player?
Yes.
Yes, with Britney Spears' album.
Yes.
And then all the boy bands. Oh, I had that. I loved that.
Loved it. So, yeah, that album. What year did that come out? 99. 1999.
See,
what about Kids Bop? Was that a thing? Or
Kids Bop? Like, now?
Those CDs that you would buy, like, I'm pretty sure I had my mom buy it on television. You had to call, and it was like, Kids Bop 90s or something.
Okay. Kids Bop, though, is kids singing the songs of the 90s.
Yes.
But now is like now, 37 is
maybe,
where they made their own mix of that decade.
I had Now.
Yeah, I had the original Now CD, and I just listened to it recently.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I love every song. Oh, yeah.
Oh, lucky.
I have it in my car right now. We should have been blaring it.
Yes. Every CD I feel that I had as a kid was gone or scratched to hell.
Oh, it's scratched to hell. But I still blow on it like a true 90s kid.
Scratch
Just
it
how
up
you
a little
warm
more.
up your hands in the winter. That's how I clean my CDs.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that scared the shit out of me.
We're recording.
Testing. Does Brandon want to say some words?
Louder. Louder. Bump it. Louder.
Bump it. 2000.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I do think that's true, though.
I do think we're 2000s kids, but I don't want to give
I don't want to
up.
say that.
I don't want to give
I'm
it
ashamed.
up. I'm a 90s kid, too.
Yeah, we're 90s
toddlers.
I need to learn to enunciate. Speak now.
Cartoons. Can we talk about cartoons for a minute? The golden age of cartoons.
Saturday morning.
90s. Golden age.
They're the classics
what
now.
Networks? I big on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon for sure.
And Cartoon Network. Two are the big ones.
I watched some Cartoon Network. It wasn't the biggest for me.
I think almost everything that I have listed from Cartoon Network, I watched. Like, a lot of it.
All right. Go ahead and list them, and I'll tell you.
From Cartoon Network?
Yeah. We'll see.
Dexter's Laboratory.
No.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
No.
Ed, Edd and Eddy.
No. I have heard of these shows. I just didn't watch them.
Fucking loved.
Brandon is all over those shows.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I don't
Fascinated
understand it.
with that show. Creeped me out, but I
Why?
loved it.
Why
it
creep
was
you out?
Weird.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta figure out how to watch these again.
I'm sure they're on YouTube.
They were weird, but so cool. You just couldn't not watch it because he was kind of a talking dog, and he lived in his owners or something where like an old couple, like grandparents, like really old. They were on a creepy farm.
Everything in Cartoon Network was slightly dark.
Dark and just the innuendos. It was edgy.
I don't quite know how to say things about Cartoon Network besides it was like the grunge city of early 90s cartoons. It was even Powerpuff Girls was weird. Dark. I never watched Powerpuff Girls, but I did watch like in later in life. I feel like there was a movie recently made about Powerpuff Girls, and I watched that. And
did you?
Yeah, it was okay. Wasn't no, that was on Disney Channel. Never mind. I did watch Disney.
Yeah, she watched a lot of Disney.
More
I think I
middle
did
school
too,
life.
Earlier on, or later on, I've watched
outside
Disney
of cartoons.
Stuff. Right, getting older, you don't want to watch cartoons anymore.
Yeah.
You watch some Disney, some MTV.
Yeah,
I watched some of the older like WB channels, so like Charmed.
I didn't watch Charmed. I have heard of it. Buffy. I watched Buffy. That is early, like 80s, right? Buffy? Or is she just early 90s?
90s, I think. Buffy,
I thought she was out for a while.
The Vampire Slayer.
She was on for a lot of seasons.
97. When did this end? 2003. 97 to 2003.
That was a good show.
I love that show.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle
Yeah.
Gellar.
Wow, Allison Hannigan was in that too.
Yeah.
Weird. It was so long ago. I remember loving it, but I couldn't really tell you any of the episodes.
Yeah.
Or what happened, really.
I agree.
She fought vampires? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's the 90s Supernatural.
Yeah.
Nowadays, Supernatural. Like, it's gone on for 13
but...
years, but I've watched some episodes. Brandon's really into it. It's over now, but...
and it's over now. I just pulled an Angela.
You did! My gosh, look at you.
But you did watch Looney Tunes.
Yes, Looney Tunes. That was on Cartoon Network.
Tom and Jerry. Pinky and the Brain.
That was, I caught the tail end of that. I don't know how many episodes or what the episodes were about, but I do remember the theme song, and I remember watching it.
I think I watched that because I think that was one of the shows my dad actually kind of wanted and kind of liked because it was weird.
It's weird. They try to take over the world.
Yeah. Same with Beavis and Butthead and Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy. Some weird shows, but I think they were mostly on because my dad was into them.
Yeah.
But
because Cartoon Network, it was dark. It had things for parents too.
I'm jealous. If we're ever parents someday,
I can't deal with this poofy bullshit.
I know. Rainbows
My
and
Little
fucking
Pony,
glitter.
I'm not watching it.
Ugh. How do you do it? How do parents do it?
I'm not doing it.
The cartoons nowadays, I
can't
even
even
really
name
watch 'em.
any.
I don't even know them, and I just know they suck.
Yeah, it's not the same. Rugrats isn't on anymore. They're not even showing reruns.
Oh my god, that makes me cry. That would make me sad.
That was my staple.
Rugrats.
Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo.
Clay didn't listen or watch Scooby Doo.
Really? Like the cartoon?
The cartoon, like the episode.
The cheesy.
Yeah, where it's like the he's coming out of the lagoon.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He's in like the scuba, the old scuba.
Yeah, with the
mask,
helmet.
The helmet. I watched so many of those because every single one, they had to find, like they had to, like save the day, find who's causing all the problems, and
it was always somebody. Question. It was always a surprise.
They had to pull the mask off his head or her head, whoever it was.
Neighbor John,
I know.
I can't believe it's you.
So
I would have gotten away with it.
I know. If it weren't for you kids and your
damn dog. Well, they didn't say
dog.
damn, but
no, they should have.
Yeah, that's what they meant to say.
Yeah. How could you? I can't imagine not watching that. I love Scooby Doo so much.
Yeah, it's
right. Recess.
Recess.
I faintly remember Recess.
Oh my gosh, I remember it. I remember it a lot.
Recess.
I remember the Ashleys, and someone I used to work with, a friend of mine, she got married and her last name changed to one of the names on the characters from Recess, the Ashleys. There were 3 Ashleys. They had different last names.
That is so
she's like,
weird.
That's me.
That's me now.
I know. And it was the coolest thing. And because she grew up with that too. And she's slightly older than us, but she never didn't consider me a 90s kid.
We watched the same shit, apparently.
Right. We grew up with the same stuff, so why are we not 90s kids?
We're salty.
We're salty.
Don't tell us we're not 90s kids.
We went through the same stuff. We wore the same stupid clothes.
We watched
cargo
the same
pants.
Good cartoons.
Yeah.
What about Nickelodeon?
I love Nickelodeon.
So, Rocko's Modern Life.
Yes.
Rugrats.
Yes. Cat Dog.
Cat Dog.
Yes.
Angry Beavers.
Yes.
Hey Arnold.
I don't even know how I found time to watch all of these shows, but I did.
Oh yeah.
I watched all of them.
All the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were just on one after the other.
Right?
It
probably was. It probably was.
Wild Thornberries.
Mm-hmm.
SpongeBob
That was a good
SquarePants.
one. I really liked Wild Thornberries.
Yeah,
I thought
too.
it was cute and unique.
I think that fostered my desire to travel and to be
live
amongst the animals and nature. And what do they live in a van?
Yeah,
right?
they lived in an RV.
Like, they're the OG van life.
Yeah, and their parents made money by
photography, right?
Photography and talking about animals and like it just perfect.
It was a great show.
Perfect.
Clay brought up there was the Wild Thornberries and another show that did like a mashup.
It was darn it, I watched that movie. There was a movie with the Wild Thornberries. I thought it was, but now I'm having regrets.
I'm not sure, but there was a mashup between
Yes.
Wild Thornberries and I think Rugrats, and I was in love.
Yes. I
Loved
remember
it.
this. I do. I remember the movies too, like the Rugrats movies.
Oh yeah,
so good.
the movies were
Cute.
everything.
Yeah. And then I remember, so this I think sets us apart from 90s kids. I think this makes us 90s kids because we remember when Kimmy wasn't part of Rugrats.
Yeah.
She was new.
Yep, because Chucky's dad
Married an Asian.
was trying to find Chucky
Love.
a mom.
Yeah.
Was trying to, and did we ever learn what happened to Chucky's mom?
I don't think so.
Do we ever know?
I don't think
Rugrats Go Wild.
Yes.
2003.
Early 2000s. I don't know what we're going to do about it.
It is what it is.
I know.
But we were watching those shows before the mashup.
Yes. Or else it wouldn't have made any sense.
Cat Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Real Monsters.
Oh, yes, where he holds his eyeballs. That was my favorite.
Yeah. Fairly
Don't even
Odd
know what
Parents.
it's about.
No, don't remember.
Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly
Remember
Odd Parents.
earlier we were talking about teeth, and I was like, my shiny teeth and me.
So many songs from that.
Yeah.
So catchy.
So
Icky
good.
Bicky.
Yeah. My gosh. So good.
Rocket Power.
Yes.
I was jealous. I watched Rocket Power, and I just wanted to be a cool skater.
You wanted to be, and you were.
Yeah.
You attempted.
Me?
More than me. Yeah, you rode bikes. You did skating.
Bikes all over.
Yeah.
I had a scooter, and I always tried to
my
ride
gosh,
my scooter.
Scooters.
Oh, yeah. Racer scooters.
Yes, where they fucking hit you in the shin and the ankle, and you're like, it's fine. You just get up and go. Great. I don't know how the scooters were more efficient than
a bike.
Walking. But because
they were
I had gravel.
Fun.
They were fun, but they just didn't go for me.
You hit a rock, you're
fucked. Done. You're flying over.
I always tried to take my scooter into the skate park. And I wasn't supposed to, but it was so fun.
You had a skate park?
Yeah, we had a skate park outside of our middle school, high school building.
So
right
weird.
by the football field. It was weird, but it was amazing because we could rollerblade in there. Wasn't supposed to take your bike in there. I don't think
we ever had a skate park, but the old abandoned mall did turn into a skate park. Illegally.
Which abandoned mall?
The Woodville Mall?
Woodville?
Before it got torn down.
So, I'm not from around here.
Mm-hmm.
So, when Clay talks about his childhood, a lot of it is
the Woodville Mall.
Mall.
Yeah, I used to go there to shop, to go to the movies, to eat.
I didn't get to see those glory days.
And then it got creepy. They didn't have any heat anymore.
I remember did we go watch a movie there?
I think we did.
Towards the end, and there was no heat, and we were freezing.
Yep. And pieces of the ceiling were falling on us.
It was bad. I can't believe it stayed open.
Yeah, as late as it did. I'm kind of
demolished now. But
yeah. I'm just sad. That is my childhood. My grandma took me there before she passed away.
Sears. I remember going to Sears. Because when I moved here, 2009, I think it was towards the end. Yeah, I remember the mall was connected to the Andersons.
Yeah.
You could walk. You're in the Andersons and walk through and go into the mall.
Andersons was the only thing that was open, and Sears, I think, when you moved, right?
Yeah. The main mall, Deb's.
Oh, Deb's.
I think Deb's was open.
And there was a Chinese place.
Restaurant, a couple, random restaurants.
Yeah,
but
they never lasted.
It was rough towards the end.
Yeah, I remember getting I got my homecoming dress at Deb's.
Yeah.
For my freshman year.
Oh, I remember going there for dress, too, I think, for homecoming. Did you just say homecoming?
Yeah, homecoming.
I think I got my homecoming dress sophomore year, though. I didn't go freshman year. It was that purpley dress that went above my
where
knees.
we went together in a group, and we got pictures together. I had a purple dress. Mine was also from Deb's.
Oh, my God.
Remember?
I rember your dress.
It was like a flare, a flare-y
Mine
dress.
It was like accordion foldy situation. Situation.
Yeah, the skirt was pleated.
It was like a pleated skirt. Little buckle.
Yeah.
Woo! Pretty sure I got that at Deb's.
We both wore purple.
Why did we wear purple? Was that the theme?
Was that sophomore year?
I didn't go freshman year to homecoming. I was lonely and sad and new.
I didn't know her. Well, I didn't know anybody. Of her.
You knew of me in freshman year?
We had French together.
Oh. We took French together in
She doesn't even remember.
I didn't know it was freshman year. I thought it was sophomore year.
I thought it was both. We had freshman and sophomore,
and then
I took
French all throughout high school.
I didn't take it in junior year.
Mr. whatever.
Mr. Robert. We're getting way off topic.
Okay. A couple more. Invader Zim?
Bring it back.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did. I barely remember it.
Weird as hell.
Again, is that from Cartoon Network? No?
Nickelodeon.
Really?
I think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
I do remember. I couldn't tell you what happens.
He was creepy looking, and he had like a little dog animal situation.
The dog that I remember is what I remember.
Stop saying situation.
I know. I don't know where it's coming from.
It's always something.
It's always something.
Danny Phantom.
No.
That was later.
Didn't
you
watch
didn't
Danny Phantom. No, it was later. I think that's why. I didn't want to start anything new. I don't like change.
2004.
Did you watch Kim Possible?
Yeah.
Yes. That was on Disney.
Was
Kim
it?
Possible. Yeah.
Let's see. Kim Possible.
And Ron Unstoppable.
Mm-mm. Call me, beep, beat me.
Any way you want to reach me.
2002 to 2007.
Remember beepers?
Disney
I never had a
television.
beeper.
No, I didn't have
And
a
I don't
beeper. I don't think my parents
had one.
Beepers.
Beepers. But I do remember the first cell phone they got. It was my mom's first cell phone was a black and yellow, we called it the Bumblebee, because it was, I think, used for construction work. Flip phone, you know, it had like the rubber case that was black on it, so you could drop, and it was waterproof up to 13 inches or something, you know, just real pathetic, but it was so cool. And you T9 text people, and nobody had cell phones, so I didn't do it, but I you know, messed around on it.
Yeah. I think when I was a little older, I got a track phone.
Track phone, yeah, we paid by the minute.
You would make one fucking phone call.
And it's done.
There's your frickin' minutes. You were on that thing for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Gone.
It was.
They gypped you.
Dumb.
I think it was fake.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like track phones, but I did have one. Ironically, coincidentally, I don't know the word, but when I started track, because I had after school meets that I had to go to, and my parents worked during the summer, so I needed a phone to call somebody to come get me.
Yeah.
And they got me a track phone.
We're going to do another episode. We had such a different
childhood.
Yeah. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
But did you watch Doug?
Yes, Doug Funny.
Yeah. We watched, Clay and I watched a little
Patty Mayonnaise.
Yes. A little snippet. They were at the movie theater, and they were like, "Is this a date?" And they're like, not sure if they're on a date, and you can tell they like each other.
Yeah.
They're nervous. Yeah.
I loved Doug.
Mm-hmm.
I love the intro to Doug. How it's just like plain and simple. It's like a white background. Just
all
playing
the intros
song,
to these cartoons are iconic.
Cute. Yes.
I can
Rugrats.
hear...
I can hear the milk bottle.
We're gonna get in trouble, I think. Probably not. We can sing.
I mean, we're singing.
I think you can tell when it's a 90s cartoon just from the intro music.
Yeah.
Not even having to see it, because even the visual is 90s for sure.
There are these memes online that say, "I can hear this image." And it's a picture of like the opening scene with, like, of Rugrats. Yeah,
with the little like
what is
that thing is.
I don't know.
It's like scratchy background.
Pokey orange.
Let's look it up.
Yeah.
I can hear this image.
I remember watching like the Kids' Choice Awards and people get slimed.
Yeah, getting slimed. Ooh.
Oh, just looking at it.
Let's play it without the sound. Can we do it?
Bob the Builder.
Yes, we can. Oh my God. Bob the Builder. Oh.
It's so cute.
Oh.
Stu. And
That's
I forget the grandpa's
What's
name.
His name?
I don't remember.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, the
what
creepy.
What the hell is that cat thing?
It was a robot. Oh, the vacuum.
Oh, Phil and Lil. Squirting the creepy cat with his milk.
Oh, Spike.
Angelica. Yep.
Dumb babies.
Aww.
The hairdos. Like, just look at what
his
they're
tie.
wearing. His shirt.
Polka
And the
dot.
tie. It's this. Iconic.
Right here, like the...
Yeah.
Oh.
And those colors. It just screams 90s.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network. Iconic. Still happening, right? They're still on. Or no?
I think so. I hope so. But it's not the same.
It's not the same. And
What about early cartoons? I'm trying to think, like, when I was really young. Here's one that nobody else that I know
You're going to do that weird...
Caillou.
I do not.
Nobody else knows or remembers watching Caillou.
I remember you telling me about it, and I had no clue that this was even a thing.
It was a really... I
Never
was really
heard
young.
of it.
Caillou. How do you spell Caillou? Why did I have an R in there? Is there an R in Caillou?
No. It's
Caillou. Oh, there's an L.
Ooh, there it is.
Canadian television show. Yeah.
Something about you in Canada.
What year? 97. 97 to 2010.
What?
God. I watched that probably in 97. Probably. Maybe a little later.
So strange. Didn't watch it.
Canadian, it's French. Caillou is. Why
From
did
Quebec.
I watch that? What about Arthur?
I was just going to bring up Arthur earlier. I loved Arthur.
Arthur. I have a picture in school. I think it was early elementary school. We had these fair type situations. These things.
Book fairs?
Book fairs, and where, after
The
school.
Scholastic book fair?
Those.
Did you have those in Iowa? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where
So
you'd
funny.
get, like, your big erasers, your
farm.
big pencils. You would get some books or
you just
a
spend
planner.
money on things you don't need.
Right. But this fair was after school, once a year maybe, and it was every classroom was set up with like games and stuff.
Really?
I think so. And one of the rooms had a big cutout where you could put your face in, and it was Arthur.
Aww.
And I have a picture somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Loved Arthur.
Yes.
What
I
about
did not
Little Bear?
realize until now that Arthur
Little
is an anteater. It's Little Bear.
I always thought he was a bear.
I did too. He looked
Or
like a bear.
mouse or something.
He's an anteater.
He's an anteater.
Anteater.
Was it
Yes,
called
Little Bear. I loved Little Bear.
Little Bear.
It was
I
cute.
loved it so much.
Yes. Or the
Ooh.
Bernstein Bears.
Okay,
Bernstein
we're not-
Bears.
Let's get on another topic. 95 to 2003 was Little Bear.
Wow. Yeah, I do remember
Little
that.
Bear.
His little claws.
And their porridge.
Their porridge.
Wasn't that their breakfast all the time was porridge?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Crazy.
Are you sure you're not getting
Aw, so cute.
that other show, the story mixed up with it?
Like Little Robin or
Little
what's her
Robin.
Little Robin.
I don't remember right now.
What is it with like
It was
Little
too
Red
hot.
Riding Hood?
No, like it was too hot and too cold,
Oh.
and then this one was just right. No,
I mean,
I can't remember what that is.
maybe I'll find out someday.
We'll just
I
cut
thought
all
they
of
ate
this.
porridge. Oh my gosh. Little Bear's mama's pregnant. Did he have a brother
I don't
someday?
know.
Maybe?
Did you watch Paddington Bear?
No.
I don't know what year that came out.
I know the more recent
I feel like my
movie.
parents watched.
That's Images.
Made me watch. Not made me, but that was one of the things my parents.
1958.
Wow.
Wow.
It's like a show my parents watched with me.
Aww. See,
Probably
that's
from
cool.
their childhood
That's
because they were
cool.
born in the 60s.
Yeah.
So that's probably what they watched growing up. And
That's what I want to do, though, to be
Right.
honest with you.
yeah.
If there's a way that I can get the cartoons that we watched or the things we watched as kids for my future kids,
Yeah.
that would be cool to me.
It would be cool if what we watched, was kind of still happening.
Yeah.
It was still going on,
Yeah, because you brought up the fact that their kids, they're not going to know current cartoons and they're
It
going to
might
be left
hurt 'em.
out.
Yeah, they might feel left out.
Curious George.
Yeah, I watched that too.
I remember reading those books.
I had a big book full of his stories, and it was the yellow book because of the guy in it. Sorry. The yellow hat.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. Forget it.
I can't remember any other really. I mean, Teletubbies. We were talking about Teletubbies earlier.
Teletubbies. Just
Creepy.
put that
What the
on
hell?
and mind-numbing silence would ensue.
The baby sunrise.
Yeah.
Just like hopping around making weird noises.
I don't remember anything. I know they were underground.
Yeah, they lived
And
in
then
like
they
a
would
mound.
come out of their hill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No idea what was going on there.
That's okay. We didn't need to know that.
Didn't need to know. It didn't bother us.
You didn't watch MTV stuff. Like
I did
Beavis and
not.
Butthead and Daria.
Never even heard of Daria.
She was an edgy, kind of grunge girl. She I think she wore like flannel. She had glasses and she like Mid-length reddish hair. Let me look up Daria.
Yeah, I've
She
never
was
even
that
heard of
angsty
it.
teen type situation. Fuck me. Okay. Yeah, and look at her friend.
Oh.
Look at her friend.
Weird.
Short black hair. Okay, she wore a green jacket. Not plaid,
she
not
looks
flannel.
like, the poor man's girl from Wild Thornberrys, the sister. What's her name?
I don't know the name of her name.
The name of her name.
The name of her name. Oh, there's Donnie. Thorn baddies. This whole thing is me just Googling a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Sorry.
That girl?
Yeah. No, that's Eliza.
The sister.
That one.
Debbie.
Doesn't
Debbie.
like the green jacket and the
she
she's
was
blonde,
wearing a
but
green plaid. And she was very not into
she had,
what
like,
they
the
were all doing.
cut off and
She was the cool one.
Half a face.
Mm-hmm. That side bang situation.
Yes, I'm a full-on side parter.
You still are to this day.
Still to this day, I can't seem to bring myself to make the commitment to go. I just don't look good.
I started doing middle part in high school, I think. Late high school? College,
I think.
More into college.
Yeah. Because you just stopped. You stopped dyeing your hair.
Yeah.
Not like you stopped trying, but you wanted more natural, and wherever it fell, that's where you were going to part it.
And ever since then, that's what
This
I've
is
done.
where it is.
Has not changed.
But it looks good. I think both look good on you. Side parts, middle parts.
Thank you.
She hated taking that compliment.
I don't do compliments well.
But I think, to summarize, we are 90s toddlers.
Yeah, that's a new term. We're coining it.
Mostly Triska. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm a 90s kid.
I'm not
even
ashamed.
Though I grew up in the 2000s.
I'm not afraid.
Yes.
I would agree. We mostly grew up in the 2000s. Yes. I'm not going to argue that.
I don't want to say it out loud, but
I
said it.
We also grew up. We also were growing up partially in the late 90s, in the mid to late 90s. So fuck off. I will continue to call myself a 90s
Let us
kid.
own it.
Yeah. What's the problem? What is the problem?
And what's strange is we're fighting to be called 90s kids when, if we ever have kids, which we'll get into in another podcast, they will look at us and say, you were born in the 1900s.
That's...
The 1900s.
Someday we're going to be so old. Like, holy shit. You were born in 1995?
Yes.
It's like saying somebody was born in 1895.
Yes.
Someday that'll be us.
I know. And it's sad because when I think about 20 years ago, I don't think about the 2000s. I think of the 90s or 80s. Like, that's 20 years ago to me.
Not no more. Not no more.
I know. Someone says 10 years ago, and I'm thinking 90s. And it's 2010s. 10 years ago was the 2010s.
Were in high school.
Are you kidding me? When did time get like this?
Don't know. Hate it. Don't like
it.
Change.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I can't accept that I'm being called not a 90s kid. I can't accept it. I don't want to change my thoughts on it. And you can't tell me. You can't tell me to.
No. And then we were also talking that maybe it has to do with age. When we get to be, when it's in 2030 and it's 10 years from now and we're, we're older, maybe we'll say we grew up in the 2000s because, the older we get, the more... the less we remember.
Separated from it.
Yeah.
Distance from it. I just think being a 90s kid is this sort of, I don't know.
It's all about perspective.
It's like this honor. It's like everybody thinks it's
yes.
a badge of honor.
Like
you're
above it. Like you're above. We had to go to the library if we wanted to figure out a book report. Yes, we had to do that.
Yeah. We went through stages of school where we didn't rely on computers.
We had to learn the Dewey Decimal System. I don't think kids nowadays are learning that.
Probably not. Or cursive. That's a whole nother thing. Whole nother topic.
Another topic.
About
another day.
Differences in generations and the kids that are, young now.
What they're not learning, what we did learn.
Yeah.
Those are good topics, and we will share them. I think we'll do another one
to talk about. I love talking about this stuff because it's so nostalgic.
Yes.
I'm so
and it's relative.
Nostalgic.
It's relative to us.
Yeah.
And I think to a lot of what our future listeners will be, I hope they would understand where we're coming from, and we're not just, they're like, no, you're a 2000s baby.
Yeah, they're probably going to try telling us otherwise.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But we will stand against the haters.
It doesn't matter in the end.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's all about perspective.
It's a silly debate that people are just trying to get you fired up. Just trying to get me fired up.
It's working.
Yeah. Anything else we want to talk about?
I think
a lot of this will be talked about again.
Yeah.
When we want to do an episode about the differences in our childhood.
Yes.
And the different things we did growing up and just
some experience, some stories. Maybe you relate more with her or more with me.
Yeah.
It's all about demographic and how, where we were brought up and what we had.
A lot of things are different. Even our education, like our education levels when we were in elementary school.
I was dumb.
No, not that
That's
way.
not what she's saying. Yeah.
Just how different things are.
Yeah. So
even
this
though we
one
were born the same year.
Yeah. This one's kind of telling you how we're similar in our 90s childhood growing up with movies and music.
And how we feel we're 90s kids.
Mostly. But we also have differences, and I think that's what the next one, whenever that comes out, we'll touch on.
Yeah. I think this has been fun. I loved researching this, so I hope you enjoyed us talking about why
we 90s.
Are we? Would you say we are?
Honestly, no.
You've changed your stance. Don't
I
let
want
them talk
to.
you out
I want
of
to
it.
say I'm a 90s kid, but I know.
I feel it in the way.
I know
I'm
that
a late 90s kid, early 2000s kid.
We don't know what to call ourselves.
Mic drop. That's where I'm leaving it.
We don't know what to call ourselves.
Just say you're sorry.
I'm sorry.
I am sorry, too. I hope this was fun to listen to. So,
see you guys.
See you next time.